I'm Jenna Lee Borick outside Courthouse Square. The city's been preparing for months to host the NATO Parliamentary Assembly. And for this week's Waste Watch, we look at some of the money that's been put toward the big event. Big events can bring big money into a city, but it can also cost a lot to put them on. There are noticeable changes to downtown Dayton ahead of the NATO Assembly, new sidewalks, landscaping, and the Dayton Peace sign in Riverscape Metro Park, to name a few. I reached out to the city to find out how much all of this cost and where the money came from. Dayton City Manager Shelley Dickstein says no local general funding was spent on the NATO Assembly program or events, NATO security, including fencing and barricading, security costs for personnel and equipment, murals, the Dayton Peace sign, banners, or temporary signage. These were funded by federal dollars, local business sponsors, and the state. I asked community members about the changes and the money spent on upgrades.
I like the fact that improvements are being done. I wish more would be done for the streets. The roads here in the downtown area are in abysmal shape. I wish they'd have spent the money on that instead of sidewalks and trees and plants.
I think it'd be great. I see they came a long way, built different stuff.
Dickstein says the city did spend about $1.1 million from capital funds on lighting repair and enhancements, including the Main Street lighting project. She says most of the lighting projects were 20 years overdue. I received a records request showing up to $300,000 was contracted to paint street light poles. A lot of money went into security and other essential departments too. I got this breakdown from the Dayton Police Department showing $4.3 million requested by the Ohio Department of Public Safety was allocated from the Ohio Control Board. The $2.8 million that came here to Dayton specifically covers police, fire, public works, and other outside jurisdictions. Dickstein summarized the spending and investments in a statement saying, in part, quote, "From the moment we were informed of the NATO conference coming to Dayton, we were very clear that city tax dollars would not be supporting the program, events, or security, and that any investment by the city would be centered on capital investments that our community could enjoy into the future." I was told by Destination Dayton they won't know how much revenue this has brought into the city for a few weeks, so I'll follow up on that and have more about the spending.